Hey everybody, in this video I'll show you how to play Descent into the Maelstrom by Radio Birdman off the Radio's Appear record. The song is in standard tuning, and if you have a quick second, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot. And check out my website, scottobryanguitar.com. I have the tab for this song as well as hundreds of other punk rock and grunge songs up there. And here we go. All right, so the song features two guitar players. Denis Ted is playing lead, and so I'm going to focus mostly on what he's doing, but I'm also going to show you what the rhythm guitar player is doing. So the song starts off with like this drum intro, and it's in the key of A, so we're going to actually start off with an A minor. It sounds like they're playing the open version on the record. The rhythm guitar is pretty low, but it sounds like it's the open version. And we're going to be basically playing on these chords. We're going to be playing the middle four strings. We're not going to be playing like full bar chords. So when we play the A minor, normally you would play the 5 strings starting on the A. But we're just going to be playing the 4 strings. So A, D, G, and B strings. We're going to play a rhythm like that with like a little bit of muting on our palm. And maybe even just pulling off to make those notes distinct, pulling off the chord. So, and then we're going to go to a G, a bar chord. And you can play it like a full bar and then just play the middle 4 strings. Or you can play it like kind of like a Jimi Hendrix style chord. Whatever is more comfortable for you. So we're going to go A to G to D. And the D form is going to be like kind of like almost like the power chord form, but we're going to be playing a full D. So we're going to be playing the A, D, G, and B strings. And so the rhythm goes. And then over top of that rhythm, Denis Ted is going to be playing this kind of lead line in the key of A. And it goes something like this. Again, it varies throughout the song, but it's something like this. So we're just going to start off with our ring finger at the 7th fret of the D string. And you're going to kind of freestyle the rhythm a little bit. Like you can let it hang. Or you can kind of play along with the rhythm. He does a little bit of both. And then we're going to go to the 5th fret. And we're going to do a pull off to get there. And then we're going to play the 5th fret a little bit. And then we're going to hit a double stop at the 7th fret of the D and G strings. So. And then we're going to do we're going to play the 7th fret of the G string. And then do a quick pull off there. And then back to the start. So slowly. So that's what's happening throughout the verse. And then we get to this kind of mini bridge or pre-chorus where Denis Ted's playing a lead. And underneath the rhythm is going to be playing this. So breaking that down, we're going to start with an A major chord. And we are going to be playing that chord, again, the middle 4 strings, the A, D, G, and B strings. And so then each chord in this progression we're going to hit twice. And then we're going to go to a C, then an F, then a G, then an A. So slowly it's... And we're going to do that twice, so... And then we're going to go back into that beginning chord progression, except we're going to start on the G this time. So we're going to go to the D, to the A minor, then back through G, to the D, to the A minor, and then it continues back on into the verse rhythm. So slowly all the way through that pre-chorus again, we're going to play. And that last time through is the first time through in the verse. And so then over the top of that pre-chorus, Denis Ted is going to be playing this cool lead in the key of A. It's in the A minor pentatonic scale that goes like this. And so I'm going to break this down slowly into different sections and you can put it all together. So we're going to start off with this. So we're going to start with a unison bend, index finger at the 5th fret of the B string and ring finger at the 7th fret of the G string, and we're going to play that twice. Then we're going to do a bend up and down at the 7th fret of the G and then pull off to the 5th. And then end on that 7th fret D. So. And then we're going to do 2 bends at the 5th fret of the G string. And then end at the 7th fret of the D. So slowly. And then continuing on, we're going to do this kind of little progression that's kind of plays off that first one. And it goes like this. So slowly we're going to play at the 5th fret of the G string and then bend up and down at the 7th fret of the G string and pull off to the 5th. So we're not actually picking that last 5th fret of the G string, we're just kind of pulling off to it. And then we're going to continue on with these bends up at the 7th fret of the G. And then we're going to end with this short descending pattern that goes. So we're going to play at the 5th fret of the G, and then we're going to play at the 7th fret of the G and pull off back to the 5th. And I like to use alternate picking because it's kind of quick. And then we're going to end at the 7th fret of the D. So slowly that part through sounds like. And then we're going to continue on with this descending, ascending progression that goes like this. So we're just going to start at the D string, and we're going to go from 7 to 5, pull up. Then same thing at the A string. Then we're going to slide down to the 5th, from the 5th fret to the 3rd fret of the A string. And we're going to pick it, so. And then we're going to do a pull off from 3rd to open on the A string. And then we're just going to reverse it and go back up. So. And then we're going to continue on with another ascending progression. So we're going to move down to the low E. So that whole descending, ascending pattern slowly goes. And then we're going to end with this kind of melodic part that goes like this. So it's all basically in the 5th position. We're going to start at the 5th fret of the G string. Then we're going to do a bend at the 7th fret to 5th fret. And then we're going to do these very distinct notes. So we're going to pick and pull off of the fret. So, and then we're going to bend and do the same thing. And then we're going to do kind of a play on that part. So we're going to do the bend up at the 7th fret to the 5th fret of the G, just like we did before. And then we're going to do those kind of distinct notes. So we're going to play 7th fret and then 5th fret of the G, but we're going to pull our finger off of the fret so it doesn't play through. And then we're going to go 5th fret G to 7th fret D and end with some vibrato. So that last part. So the last part slowly all the way through. that whole lead slowly through goes like this. So then we go back through the verse and pre-chorus again, and there's a different lead this time. It's in the A minor pentatonic in pretty much the similar position. There's a lot of like ascending, descending, slide parts, like I showed you in the first one. I'm not going to cover that one just because it's outside the scope. It'd make for a really long video if I did all the leads in the song. But then we go to this kind of breakdown part, which is a lot of bass and drums. It's the same chord progression as the rhythm. And the rhythm guitar plays parts of it, doesn't play other parts of it. I'm going to cover the kind of interesting parts of the solo that Denis Ted plays over there. Again, it's beyond the scope of this video to kind of do the entire solo. It would be really long. So there's kind of a breakdown, and then he comes in, and this time he's going to be playing in the 15th position of the A minor pentatonic scale. And he's going to start with these cool bends at the 18th fret of the B string. So it's like... So it's just a bunch of bends at the 18th fret with some vibrato. And then he does this descending pattern, which sounds cool. So he's going to go. So. So without going note for note, we're going to be bending at the 18th fret of the B string. And then you're going to basically kind of walk yourself down that pentatonic scale with bends, and then you're going to kind of root at the 15th fret. So, and then you're going to work your way back up. So, and then he gets back up to that 18th fret of the B string, and then goes up to the 18th fret of the E string. So, kind of slowly all the way through it. And so at that very end, we're going to do, we're going to go from a bend at the 18th fret of the B string to a bend at the 18th fret of the high E, then 15th fret E, and then end at the 18th fret of the B. So that's not note for note, but it's pretty much what he's doing and the kind of interesting parts of that part. And then it's going to kind of quiet down again, and we're going to go back to like just bass and drums. And then he comes back in with this really cool kind of descending progression that goes like this. And it's kind of tricky. It's something that takes a little bit of practice. We're going to do this natural minor progression. So we're not in the A minor pentatonic anymore. We're in the natural minor, if that matters to you. So, and we're going to go 8, 7, 5 with a pull-off on the high E. And then we're going to go 8, 7, 5 on the B. And we're going to do it 3 times. I think he goes back and forth 3 times. And then the last time he's going to do it like 2 more times on the B. And then he's going to kind of descend. So like 7th to 5th on the G to 7th fret D, and then back up and with a bend on the 7th fret G. Again, that's not note for note, but the first part is, but towards the end, it just kind of ad-libs. So. Something like that. So then the song kind of continues on with that verse progression. Until it hits a certain point in the lead, and then it switches to this part. So we're just going to play an A to a F to a G. And then there's like a long kind of extended outro lead that goes through the end. It's still in the A, mostly A minor pentatonic. But there's this really kind of interesting part when it starts off where Denis Ted plays this. plays that kind of over and over again. So to play this, we're going to play with our ring finger at the 7th fret of the D, and then we're going to play 5th fret G and B. And you can kind of let them ring. And then we're so that's over the A chord. And then when we move to that F chord, we're going to kind of play the notes within the F chord. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, 3 D, 2 G, 1 B. And then when it moves up to the G chord, we're going to do the same thing in the G. So 5, 4, 3 in the D, G, and B strings. So to start off, it's again. And then we're going to do this kind of bend pattern. So to do that, we're just going to bend up at the 7th fret. And then we're going to pull off. And then we're going to pull off from 7th to 5th on the D. So. And then we're just going to start over. So. And then he kind of just does this ad-lib solo from the rest of the way out, and then it kind of does that, repeats that bend part. And then does like kind of descending pattern within that minor pentatonic, and then kind of goes back up. And basically, if you stay within kind of the 5th position of the A minor pentatonic and kind of follow along, and then I think he goes up to like the 8th position for a little bit. But just kind of follow along. Again, it's beyond the scope of this video to do note for note all the way through the solos, but I tried to get kind of the most interesting parts, although the whole thing all the way through is really cool. Denis Ted's an amazing guitar player. So again, kind of work on your own ad-lib. The positions are the 5th position of the A minor pentatonic, moves up to the 8th, and unlike the top 3 strings mostly. And I think those are pretty much all the positions. But if you stay within that A minor pentatonic and move up and down, it's kind of what he's doing. So that's it for this one. I hope you like the lesson. If you appreciate this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot. And check out my website, scottobryanguitar.com. I've got the tab for this song as well as hundreds of other punk rock and grunge songs up there. And I will see you guys next time.